You are very far away from me.
It's weird, isn't it? We've got 2 microphones.
Yeah.
Donnie's gone all techie and bought posh mics and we've got 2 separate microphones.
Yeah, it's just so we can try and make the sound a little bit better.
Stop breathing into each other's mouths.
Yeah. I miss you though. You're so far away.
It's amazing. Well done, Dawn. I'm so surprised. This is a surprise bonus Blether.
Yeah, surprise.
I'll leave it for the actual episode. But we recorded this surprise bonus Blether yesterday in Edinburgh. And we realised that we forgot to say something important because, of course, we did. So we thought we'd just come on quickly now and say the important thing.
Yes.
So we would love you forever if you would vote for us for Listener's Choice in the British Podcasting Awards. The link is in our bio and it's also in the blurb of this episode. It's really cringe and our toes are curling and we've got imposter syndrome. However, like everything that we've done is absolutely ridiculous, improbable, but seemingly not impossible.
Yeah.
That 2 weirdos in Dawn's box room on a beach in northeast Scotland would be listened to around the world. That, you know, a year on from interviewing Meryl Davis, that we would ourselves be doing something in the Fringe a year later in Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which this episode is about, among other things. And, you know, what's really ridiculous is that we're number 35 in Spotify's Society and Culture chart today, having, until this episode, nearly not put an episode out for a whole month.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. And so why not try and get recognised in the British Podcast Awards?
And let's be honest, we were just too late with all the rest of the categories because we were on tour and it took a load of planning and editing and things that we just didn't have time for. So this is our only shot at it.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy this podcast, if this podcast has helped you in any way, we would love you forever if you could put a vote in for us. It's really quick. I mean, we know how painful and how much of a ball ache online forms can be, but this is relatively painless. It's quite quick. The only thing that's annoying is that you have to then verify it by email.
Yeah.
And the email can go into like the socials or promotions folder. So you might need to look for it and then you just click it. But once you're there, it's really quick and easy. And we would love you forever and ever and ever. So please do that.
Yes, we'd love to get recognised in the British Podcast Awards.
And even though we don't believe that we'll get it in for a penny.
Yeah, I don't know how it works exactly, but you might as well give it a shot, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, vote for us, please.
So yeah, that was everything. So thank you so much for listening and we hope you enjoy this bonus Blether, which has loads of information about live events and all sorts of other stuff as well.
Yeah, so have a listen. It's a good one.
Bye.
ADHD as females, ADHD AF, ADHD as females, the podcast.
Hi, I'm Dawn.
Hi, I'm Laura, and we are ADHD AF. Seriously. We are 2 neurodivergent neighbours who moved to the same street at the same time, at the same age, with the same undiagnosed disability. What are the chances?
Since discovering the enormous impact ADHD has had on our lives and the horrifying numbers of missing undiagnosed females, it has become our mission to make some serious noise.
We want to use our voices to raise awareness, break the stigma, and share our experiences in the hope that they help others.
So join us for a chat, or as it's called up here in Aberdeen, a blether.
Trigger warning, we will be covering some really sensitive topics, so please do have a read of the description of each episode before listening.
It's important to note that we are not medical professionals, we're not therapists or coaches, we're not qualified to offer advice or support. What we will do is share our experiences alongside resources and information from professionals. We will talk over each other and we will go off topic and forget the point mid-sentence.
We are both assigned female at birth, which means that we can only speak from the experience of life as AFAB people. However, ADHD AF is an inclusive space. Whatever your gender, you are very welcome here.
Yes, you are.
ADHD as females, ADHD AF.
Hi. We're in Edinburgh at the Royal Scots Club.
We are.
Which many of you, well, some of you that came to see us in Edinburgh will know that it is a gorgeous venue here in Edinburgh. And we're here with Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hi, hello.
So Lee has got us all set up recording this podcast.
I know,
here.
and this is so much more fancy than the setup that I have at home.
Although Dawn has made it extra fancy now with an amazing leopard print hand-painted backdrop.
Yes, and I'm still trying to figure out how the new equipment works, but we are getting there.
We are also here with our wonderful Nicole Nadler.
Hi, that's me.
High heels and heavy suitcases. So yesterday we celebrated the 4th of July.
On the 8th of July.
4th of July on the 8th of July.
Because I have dyscalculia, so that's fine. So we're all a little bit tired. I'm not going to lie.
We are tired
We're
today.
a little bit tired today, but we had
Hitting
a lot
the
of fun.
wall.
And we've
Yeah.
spent the afternoon getting a tour around Edinburgh, well, around Leith and Stockbridge.
Yes, so we went to the shore and saw the very cutesy part of Leith. None of the train spotting parts, all the cute parts.
Beautiful.
And then we went to Stockbridge, Dean Village, and they asked me what the water was called, and I said the water of Leith, and they thought I was just being a smart ass. They're like, no, what's it really called? I was like, it's really called the water of... And then we saw a sign. I was like, I'm not just being a dick.
Keep it as simple as possible.
You mean the River Leith? I was like, no, the water of Leith.
Water of Leith. It just sounded
Yeah.
so fancy.
It did.
Yeah, it's been really lovely. Unfortunately, it was not as sunny yesterday.
Yeah, the barbecue was rained off on a couple occasions.
But we still managed to party like it was 1776.
We did.
Yeah.
It was a little personal that then we woke up today to the most perfect weather to clean up.
Yes. Yeah. It's been really lovely.
So I'm going to introduce Lee.
Oh, hi.
My friend Lee.
Hi.
My friend Lee.
Who's very handsome, by the way.
Oh my
Oh.
God, you're so beautiful.
Hang on. There's
Wait,
a mirror here somewhere, and I just need to verify. If,
Lee, I want you to read my mind and say the thing I ask you to say all the time. Please read my mind.
you were going to ask me to say 333,333.
This is my platonic friendship, but sometimes I ask him to say things in a... You can get an audiobook. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
If you want to hear him talk. Lee does it all. In my personal opinion, he is...
ADHD, are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So to start, he is this 2023 year diagnosed.
It was my
Birthday-
Christmas
yes.
Christmas present.
Okay, but Lee has lived all over the world, has truly.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. Is the funniest comedian, but also knows a lot about... Don't even make that face. I hear you do comedy all the time. Is a very funny comedian, has a degree in zoology, knows a lot about animals. I feel like I'm doing your wiki.
Yeah, no, this is just my CV at this point.
Yeah. You might know him from the internet in various ways.
That's always terrifying to
I
hear.
know, but you might. That's how I knew you.
Okay.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I don't.
Let's start one.
I do have an OnlyFans only to...
For your fans?
Secure, yes, the one. To secure the username. I don't know if anybody else just does that on every platform.
No, but I want to.
Yeah.
Oh, but mine will be kinky because it's high heels, heavy suitcases.
Oh, we should do that.
I didn't know. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
I'd never even thought to do that before.
But Lee, how can we actually find you not OnlyFans? Like what?
Oh, well, that's the thing. I've done nothing up on it. If people just want to give me money, they can sign up for I think it's
Please.
free as well.
What if it's just you saying 33,000?
That's
There's a
probably too
market for
erotic.
that.
There probably is.
There's totally a market.
Like
Definitely.
purple and period.
Period. You didn't say it cheerful enough today.
Space Skittles. Where can you find me? I'm mostly active on the likes of Instagram.
The gram.
Yeah, and Threads now. My God.
Yeah, you're a thread king.
Are you one of these people that's just went in straight like
For the jugular. It's I didn't get on Twitter fast enough, and now I feel like it's my time to shine on Threads.
Oh God, I just can't be fucked.
I know.
So we've got loads and loads and loads of things going on.
we do?
So alongside everything that we're doing for season 2, which is coming very, very soon, we've got a lot of live events coming up, which we love. And we were really excited when Nicole asked us to be part of, or to do a talkback show after her Why Am I Like This Edinburgh Fringe show, which is happening on the 6th of August, as you may know. So you can get tickets to see Nicole's show, Why Am I Like This, some of which you wrote on the road with us on the Too Much Tour when we kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Very much the origin story.
And then we're doing a talkback show after that performance here at the Royal Scots Club in the library, we think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you sell.
Unless we like sell.
Well, you know.
The more people, the bigger the room.
You never know.
So we're doing a talkback show, but also we've got something else very exciting to announce in that we are doing a live podcast recording that same day.
We are.
And I have all of the details somewhere.
If you're coming to it and you're in Edinburgh, the venue is the City Cafe. It's Laughing Horse is the organizer. On August 6th, like Laura just said, at 12:30 for 1 hour. So there's about 30 seats, first come, first serve, and it is pay as you wish by donation after the show.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's a very exciting day here in Edinburgh for us. So we've got 12:30 at City Cafe, pay as you wish, live podcast, which is going to be about...
I can't even remember.
We just talked about this morning.
So
did.
Edinburgh Fringe is obviously it's predominantly comedy, right? So we thought we would focus on our funny segment.
Yes, it's going to be about our most ADHD thing.
Yeah, and that's the most
course.
ADHD thing
That
you've
is
done
probably
today.
the most I completely forget. So, yeah, it's basically going to be focusing on all of the things that we do, the silly little things that we do, and some have consequences that are better or worse than others. And it's just about shame eradication. So it's about just owning these things and being able to look back and laugh at the silly things that we do and not chastise ourselves for these things.
Absolutely, because the whole thing is, so there's 25 different podcasts being recorded in 25 days, right? So we thought that we would do our favourite and I was going to say famous, I don't know. It's what people know us for. It's the most ADHD thing because it's humorous and it's if we have people there that don't know anything about the podcast, it's also about raising ADHD awareness because although we are poking fun at it, it's because we do that in the name of like unity, like unifying the community and knowing that they're not alone in it and just bringing us all together. And yeah, like we've said many times, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And we have, and we will. But we're all in it together, and that's the point of it. But also, we hope to raise some ADHD awareness to people who might not know about it. So,
it's like a little bit about how the symptoms, the really negative things, because what you don't want it to be is that people think ADHD is like, oh, funny, silly, quirky stuff. So it's like, no, these are exactly. Yeah. It's like, no, these are things that really have affected us. But now that we know what it is, and not that you're just like scatterbrained or lazy or mad or whatever, you want to call yourself, now that you can look at it through the lens of understanding, now you can have a bit of a laugh because you're like, oh gosh, that was because I blah, 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 not because I'm inept at being a person.
It's eradicating the shame, but it's also, like we said, uniting us because we know, like we say all the time, we felt like we were aliens and then we found out that there is a whole planet of us. So it's just like, oh, I've done that or whatever, bringing us together. So that will be really fun. So that's for about an hour.
Yeah.
Then
obviously it's a live recording, so we will be putting this out on our podcast.
That's right. That's right.
So if you can't come along, then it'll be recorded and you can listen. So
yes, indeed. So you don't need to get tickets for that. You just show up and pay by donation, but there are only 30 seats. So it's first come, first serve. Then we've got about an hour, is it?
So that ends at 1:30, and then my show is 5 minutes down the road, thank God. Otherwise, we would get distracted, I'm sure. And then my show starts at 3, and that'll be my third show of the run. So hopefully all the kinks.
So for anyone that doesn't know, your show is running
my show is running from August 4th to 19th, but not the 13th. The venue is called The Space, which is very misleading, but it's called The Space at Surgeons Hall. And the show is called Why Am I Like This? Because I have ADHD is why. And everybody knows.
Spoiler.
And you'll find, it does say that in the blurb. Spoiler. It's like this whole big thing. Spoiler, she has ADHD. So that then runs from 3 to 3:40-ish, depending if I can keep to time-ish, but right about there. And then after that, we have about 45 minutes to plop across town.
Plop.
Plop. Yeah, that's my head went straight there too. Plop. The baby barn owl. Do you remember that book?
Yes, I do. I really do.
I have it with me right now.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And then we get to Royal Scots to do our post-show chat, which we're still kind of figuring out, but basically it will focus on a lot of the themes I speak about in my show of figuring out why you are like this, and then you figure out why you are like this. We're going to have some Q&A.
Yeah, talk about our experiences.
And specifically, one of the things that I found really valuable that Dawn and Laura spoke about on their tour is about how our symptoms do not all present the same and how that's fine. And that just because one person has one thing and you don't, that doesn't mean yours is less valid or anything like that. So I'm really talking about how, because a big part of my show is talking about how obvious my symptoms are and were. If anybody had known, they would have known instantly, but nobody knew. And so the ways that our symptoms present and overlap or differ or what it looks like for everybody. So really just a casual sort of informal conversation with everyone.
So we would advise that if you wanted to come to the talkback, you should, we advise that you go and see Nicole's show anyway.
Yes, it will make much more sense. Yeah. You don't have to, but you'll...
But you're missing out if you don't.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a good show. What can I say? But yeah, it'll make more sense.
Obviously, it starts a couple of days beforehand, so even if you can't
Yes,
go
you
on
could
the
come
same
the
day.
Friday or the Saturday if you're local, if you're going to be in town for the weekend for the Fringe anyway.
So tickets are available.
Tickets are available on the Edinburgh Fringe website. You just type in, why am I like this? It's only me. I'm looking very uncomfortable in my poster picture. There are still many available. Please buy them.
Yeah, so get yourself a ticket for that. We'll put links in the bio of all of this spit it out. I really am tired. The blurb of this episode. There we go. So you can get tickets for that, and then you can get tickets to come to the Talkback show via the link in our bio and also via the link on this episode. So it's like this triple whammy extravaganza. With Nicole, and we'll just be in the audience of Why Am I Like This, and we just cannot wait to see it, and I know I'm going to cry.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see it fully finished. I mean, it is written, but like to see the whole thing for real. Yeah. Because I've been doing previews around Edinburgh, which has really helped give an idea of it. But like I'm in the back of a pub and people are ordering pints and like it's very distracting. Yeah. And I'm reading from a script and it's the real thing, but not the real thing.
I'm so excited to see it. Having seen you do little bits and see it kind of from the start and start to come together and all the little bits, of the puzzle kind of being all put together. It's going to be so good to see.
There was a show I did a few weeks ago and I was like, oh God, that's a real thing. It has a beginning and a middle and an end and it makes sense and it circles back and I make metaphors and they make sense and I say things. And so it was about 10 days ago that I was like, okay, this is going to work. It's going to be fine. Yeah.
It was actually here in Royal Scots Club that we sat down on the sofa and watched you, and that was the first time that I'd sat and watched it properly and really thought it was coming together. And I cried. Yeah. I properly welled up. So,
that's right. You'll laugh, you'll cry.
I was going to say, it is funny.
Yeah. Which is what's so funny is sometimes I do it and the audience looks at me like have 6 heads. And then the next night people are like laughing out loud, pissing themselves. And I'm like, okay, we'll just have to see. So at Royal Scots, they do quick plug. They do a comedy night on Wednesdays called Cavern Comedy, and they've been doing Fringe Tasters every Wednesday. And I did one last week. That feels like it just happened. So it was an excerpt version of it that I only threw together like 1 hour beforehand. And that felt really fun and funny. And
there was.
Sorry, go on.
No, there was just a lot of moments where it was like, keep that in. You should definitely add that.
I riffed a couple things and I was like, I gotta add that in. That was funny. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. How much of like the stuff that you did on the tour is in it?
Quite a bit is still in it. So the bit, I don't mind spoiling it a little bit. The bit about where I talk about Paris and being on the train, that whole thing is still in it. Yeah. The bit where I have a rant about like with the NHS experience of like, there's no blanket rule on shared care and it's just a postcode lottery of how you like that's still in it. The bit about going streaking in my high school is still in it. That's right.
And this is why you need to come and see it, because there are stories.
Quite a lot is there. You'll recognize a lot. Yeah. Amazing. Honestly,
you'll recognize yourself in it.
That's the idea. My whole goal is that Like I will feel successful. I think of it like a triangle. As if you come and you are entertained, like you leave and you're like, that's fun. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
And you're not like checking your watch or something. Like that's probably the worst thing that someone could be like, I was bored. I'm like,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I don't think so either, but that's like the worst thing you could say is that it was boring. I'm like, how? I never stop. But anyway, and that should you have ADHD or think you have ADHD or your kid or somebody in your life that you feel related to and validated and seen where you're like, oh my gosh. And people have said that. They're like, my daughter does that thing that you said about, I'm like, yeah,
they're gonna
it's a problem.
They're gonna see it,
and that you learn something. So whether you have ADHD and maybe there's like a stat that I throw out or a term or just like seeing it reflected makes you realize, oh, that's why I do that. Or if you don't have ADHD in particular, and I have had that feedback too. Actually, the last night of the tour in Norwich, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, there was a man in the audience, presume it was someone's dad, but maybe he just came on his own. And he came up to me after my bit right at the end of the show, and he was like, watching you do that was the first time that ADHD, all this stuff made sense.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that has stuck with me. So that someone who does not really know what's going on and kind of just got dragged there by their kid or their friend or whatever is like, that makes sense.
And it offers the opportunity for people to, look at this situation and recognize it around them and be more compassionate towards people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly that. And, it does make me think there's some people that could do with being a bit more compassionate in the mainstream media these last couple of days.
Yeah.
But we don't, we made a promise that we wouldn't add fuel to the fire. Like you've got to think now with all newspapers and magazines, with stuff being online, like people just want shares. And I think the more attention that we bring to anything, the more people we're potentially hurting. Like for myself, like I only found out about what's been out because somebody shared it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we don't need to do, because then if we go, this publication said this or that, then obviously more people are going to go and read it. And if more people read it, then they're going to keep writing the same shit, aren't they? Because it's going to keep coming.
Yeah. For instance, I have no idea what you're currently talking about, and I know it's something very specific, and I'm better off without it.
Absolutely. But anybody who has, we just want to remind anybody who is ever upset or has to deal with the bullshit of any ableist media about ADHD, then you just go to our link in bio, and there's a really straightforward form that we created as part of the Anti-Ableist ADHD Media Coalition for people to report it, and we go forth and we fucking complain.
Yeah.
And like literally, I'm not going to lie, we haven't heard anything back that's been of any use from anybody yet, but we really believe in what we're doing. And, it's not to say it's the best solution, but it's the best we can come up with now.
But you know what? It is a solution.
It's action.
It's
right?
action, exactly.
It's not just sitting around and complaining and being annoyed and nothing useful.
Exactly. And the thing, on our website, there's an amazing quote. I've forgotten who it's from, but the quote is, action is the antidote to despair. And that's it. We take action the best that we can. And if it doesn't, if somebody comes to us with a better plan, oh my God, take the floor. We will share anything. If somebody else wants to take the reign with something and let us know about something, then we'll do it. But
no one is doing what you're doing in the sense of like, I see in this Anti-Ableist Media Coalition, no one is saying, I see a problem. I mean, people complain and have opinions. That's fine. But no one is saying, I see a problem and I'm creating a solution.
When we got interviewed by Hannah Walker-Brown for her Substack, there was this amazing quote. She said, I don't want to blow too much smoke up our asses, so let's just skip to the other bit. When I asked them for their greatest strengths, talking about us, Dorney, they both list compassion, enthusiasm, determination, and optimism. And it strikes me that in order to lead change, to spearhead the revolution, neither of which we're actually trying to do, by the way, but these are her words, yes, you have to graft, but you also have to believe that it's possible. Yeah. The rage will propel you forward, but it's hope that will carry you across the line. And that's exactly it. Like, we truly believe, I believe in my heart that this bullshit ain't going to last. It can't.
It's just the trend. You know what's trendy? Bullshit. What's trendy is people shitting on this more than anything else.
And so I think, and I hope in our lifetimes, I hope, but I know that it will change. And that's why we keep going, and that's why we want to take action, and that's why we're not going to fuel it, and we're not just going to sit and whinge. We're going to try and do what we can, and hopefully somebody else will come along and tell us something better to do, and then we'll do that. Yeah, exactly.
But we're going to keep doing, and that's the important thing.
We do our best.
Yeah.
Because we ain't fucking having it.
No.
No. So
Not on
anyway.
my watch, love.
Not on our fucking watch. So we are, so just a reminder that link is in our bio, and it's on our website, ADHDasfemales.com. And yeah, we're all really tired because we had loads of fun yesterday. And I tell you what, this one is the hostess with the mostest. There has never been so much red, white, and blue food. I have never
toned it down
consumed
this year, too.
so much sugar in one day in my life.
I was worried about the colours that were going to exit my body today. I'm not going to lie. I know I'm taking it below the belt here, but well, literally. But yeah, I was.
But I mean,
worried.
what's even funnier is how you say the colour that you think it was going to come out.
Purple.
Try and say the full thing.
Purple burglar alarm. I can't say it. Purple burglar alarm.
There you go.
It's really difficult to say.
It's just because you're Scottish.
I know. But yeah. But in other news, we've got another live podcast.
Which will be our first ever live podcast.
Yeah, and that's been recorded at Resident X in Aberdeen on the 3rd of August.
Yeah.
And there'll be tickets available to buy. Link in bio.
Link in bio and link in blurb of this episode. So yeah, that's going to be a busy week. What day of the week is the 3rd of August? Is it a Tuesday?
I think it's the 3rd. Well,
It's
a
Thursday. So that means if you are in Aberdeen, whether you can or can't join us in Edinburgh on the 6th, come and see us in Aberdeen. Yeah. So Resident X is absolutely cool. We saw a wicked podcast recording this week by Dishing It.
Dishing It, yeah. Check out that podcast if you're local to Aberdeen and want to know about a little foodie, all the foodie stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Scotland based. He does reviews on food, Colin. He's from Huntly as well, same place that I grew up. So there you go.
So that's very exciting. So wicked venue. Come and see us in Aberdeen on the 3rd of August. Then 6th of August, we have the Too Much Tour Trio doing 3 events.
It's the ADHD AF hat trick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It totally is. So that's happening on the 6th.
Yeah, that really is a day.
It is a day.
That is what the H stands for in ADHD.
The hat trick.
Yeah, hat trick.
Yesterday, Lee texted me and said, I can't stop laughing about it. He was like, the D in my ADHD is too much today. I've literally been laughing about that for 24 hours. Like, it keeps popping in my head, and I will out loud have a giggle.
Yeah, no, it's the first D as well. It was just like massive.
All the Ds. Big Ds. A lot of big Ds around here. Anyway.
Oh no. I had to stop myself there.
This is a different version of the podcast.
But before we've even got all of that excitement in August, we've got a very, very, very bloody exciting event happening this month. So we've got Flackstock Festival, which is an incredible event in tribute to Caroline Flack. It's been created by her friends and family to celebrate her life, to raise mental health awareness, and to raise funds for the charity Mind, Charlie Waller Trust, the Samaritans, and Choose Love.
Check you. I am so impressed that you remembered them because I would have stopped at 1.
Yeah.
Well done.
So we are genuinely, absolutely bloody honoured to be speaking at this event. Like seriously. We are going to be in the Mindfulness tent, which is a tent sponsored by Mind, I believe at about 6:30, but I don't think it's 100% confirmed. But we are playing ADHD AF Bingo at great speed because we've got half an hour.
Yeah, we've got 30 minutes and we've essentially had to take our 3-hour show and figure out how to make it work in 30 minutes.
30 minutes. And if we do it right, we've even got a song in.
Yeah.
I have a really important question.
Yeah.
The ladle is still...
The ladle will be there. And hopefully, if we stick to time, we've got a couple of people there to help us who will be helping us stick to time. Fingers crossed. We're going to have to read the cards religiously so that we can stick to time.
Yeah, we kind of have to script this one, unfortunately.
And if we get there, then we even get to sing a song at the end. So fingers bloody crossed. And of course, we'll be in leopard print. So... Of course. And there's an amazing lineup. There's so many cool people there that day. Sophie Ellis-Bextor is playing.
Yeah.
And Louise Redknapp is playing.
Yeah.
Eternals Always and Forever was the first album I ever bought on CD. Thank you very much.
There you go.
I'm very excited about
I'm
it.
just listening to this in American, not knowing who these people are.
Oh my God.
I know the name.
Oh my God, I need to play you some Eternal right away. So that's really bloody exciting. So if you want tickets for Flackstock, you can get them via the link in our bio and also on flackstock.com. And yeah, we just can't believe it. Like, we knew when we did the Too Much tour that we felt that it was something that we could take to festivals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess that the thing that was a bit nerve-wracking about it is obviously with the likes of Awful Media, that people would be really mean to us.
Yeah.
And I think that the fact that we can cut our teeth with a festival with the core message is to be kind is like just the best thing ever. It just feels right for everyone.
Yeah, it's perfect.
really-
It just fits perfectly with what we do and what our ethos is. And yeah, it's very exciting.
So we can't wait. So that's in Reading on the 24th of July. So we are busy bloody beast, aren't we?
And we're trying to get this podcast recorded. And
I didn't know if we were saying that or not.
have we not already said
Well,
it?
we've kind of said it. So basically, if you don't know, we've said we're taking a break. We actually haven't. We completely lied. We haven't taken a break.
Yeah.
We've been recording season 2.
The podcast is taking a break so that we can record the podcast in advance, essentially, for season 2, because we realize that spinning on that hamster wheel, recording an episode, editing it week in, week out is really not maintainable.
It's really
And
difficult.
especially with me going back to uni in September, we need to give ourselves a bit of a break because
we went around in the tour saying, you know, we haven't practiced what we've preached. We need to identify our core struggles. We need to put systems in place to support ourselves and each other. So we realized that this would be the best way to do it, because otherwise, you know, it's detracting from your studies. It's causing you loads of stress,
Which
and
then
in turn means that I'm left spinning all the plates and burnt out.
And nobody
it's-
wins.
It's awful.
yeah, exactly.
So it's like, right, this way, the time that we have together, we're utilizing it, and it's going to be amazing. We've had some really exciting interviews, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had some great interviews already.
It's itching to get them out, but yeah, we're getting there.
Trying to, zip our mouths and not tell everyone everything.
Yeah, which is really
very,
hard.
very difficult.
Really hard. But
For a bunch of ADHD gals.
but season 2 is coming very, very soon. So yeah, it's been a busy break in inverted commas of the summer, but it's great. We've got a lot of good stuff done and we're very excited for the future. And after all of these amazing live events of the summer, there'll be more coming up, and that's very exciting indeed.
Yeah, lots more to come.
Yeah.
And pre-recording all this stuff means that we will have a little bit of extra time to look at other things.
Yeah.
To
and-
look to the future. Because you're not just living in the present constantly.
Exactly.
Which is, I can't actually comprehend looking in the future, but
Yeah, no, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it?
Lee doesn't know what day it is.
No,
yeah, but I mean,
don't.
we definitely can't do like 1 year plan, but we can do in the next 6 months. Yeah.
That's big for us.
It
6
is.
months for us is other people's 5-year plans.
Yeah.
It was I came across something yesterday that was along the lines of, hustle, grind, use your weekends to get ahead. And I was like,
Already.
oh, what, to be neurotypical must be lovely that you just...
My weekends are to catch up on everything I've destroyed. And
My entire existence is me catching up.
Yeah.
That's how I live. I'm just catching up. I'm just getting on top of things.
Is that really what people think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To grind on the weekend and get ahead and have your
All right,
hustle.
wait, hold on. You grind 24/7.
Yeah, same. I was like, yeah, that's just every day, isn't it?
Oh, no.
So Lee, how are we gonna how can anybody see your brilliant comedy? Are you doing any shows? What have you got going on?
You do so much.
I literally gotten to like burnout stage right now. So this
You are
is-
burning the candle at every end.
Yeah, so starting September, I'm reclaiming my time on
That's
stage. And I will be around Edinburgh and Glasgow performing whatever show will take me. And I want to start building a new show because I've had to start figuring out who I am now since my diagnosis.
Of course,
Lee and
yeah.
we love the conversations. And one of the ones that we talk about, which actually is now in my show, because you reminded me, I forgot that I said it. And then you reminded me and I was like, that was wise. But how we have been unreliable narrators in the story of our own lives because you think one way about yourself, good or bad, usually bad, because you thought whatever it was, not knowing it was ADHD. So fill in the blank and however it was appropriate to you. And then you can look back and be like, wait. That is not true. That's not real because I was not a reliable narrator. I didn't have all the facts.
Yeah.
And so I think in the last not even quite year of your life, in realizing that, it's just shifting.
Yeah.
The gears
and
in the
it's for the longest time for me, especially coming from the comedy world and acting and just performing in general, there's a lot of not having my own opinions because I was like masking other people the entire time, which is so common in comedy because you're like
mirroring to be like, we were just talking about mirroring today.
Yeah.
You're like, you're doing this thing, I'll do that thing.
And but then you also have to figure out what is my taste, and I obviously don't have the experience to catch up to my taste just yet. But when those two overlap, that's when that's usually your 10 years or your 10,000 hours.
Do you want to say your Amanda Gorman thing that was so remember?
Oh my God, if I can remember it.
I'll look it up. It was so smart.
But it's funny. I remember I found some old CDs recently and I picked them up and I was like, it's so funny because as I'm looking through these CDs, I realize I can tell which friends I was with when I bought these CDs because they're not my taste. That was my friend's taste. And I was buying the CDs for the music they liked. There'd be the odd one in there. Then it's like, that's me.
Yeah, totally.
I could find that's me. But this collection of CDs with a mixture of different personalities that I was with different people.
Oh, totally.
Wild.
You just reminded me of, and I haven't had this, the trauma's flooding in, mama. I went on this school trip to Galway, because I'm from the west coast of Ireland originally, and we would just, we would go further west and south into the city.
More into Ireland.
Further into the country. No, Galway's a lovely place. And I didn't bring any money with me for the school trip because I think I was like 8 or 9 at the time. And I remember asking the teacher for that I wanted to buy a CD for my brothers when I was there. And she went around and collected money from each of the kids. And I had to go back and pay each of them back on like the next school day. And I'm
I hate that
mortified
for you.
from it. But
I'm
that
mortified
like
for you now,
not
20
being
years later.
prepared. And now I'm like, oh, that...
Oh, bless
I'm blaming that on. That's straight
I
into
can't
ADHD
find the
file.
quote, but it was something about how if you don't know your purpose, you don't know your voice.
Yes, you need to find your purpose before you find your voice.
Yeah. And I think that's what we've talked about quite a few times. And I think that's your current experience.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone through so many different careers, worked in so many different industries, and the whole time it was let's narrow it down and figure out what I don't like and who I'm not, so that I can get
and then,
closer
like,
to who I
whatever's
am.
left is
Yeah.
That's actually so because people are like, who am I? What do I like? And that's really hard to decipher. But if you can at least figure out what you don't like and what you don't want, then whatever's left, it must be the bit that you want.
Or getting you closer to it anyway. Absolutely. This is fascinating stuff. But what I really want to know, Lee, is what is the most ADHD thing you've done this week?
How about today?
I was going to say that, but I don't want to call you out.
Go on, tell us
Oh no,
about
you can
today, Lee.
fully call me out.
I would, just not on a pod, but you do that.
So I've been dog sitting this weekend, which is great because I already knew that I was doing that, and I thought yesterday was Sunday completely. I was 24 hours ahead, and I was like, great.
Wait, so we also had a conversation about this in person on Wednesday.
Yes. So
Okay.
I was. Oh no! I've been looking forward to
I know
this
you have, but
for-
I'm saying we verbally in real life looked at each other in the eyes and confirmed on Wednesday.
And you would think that would matter. And so yesterday I was like, I'm 24 hours ahead. I can get so much done. And that's, I think, the crux of where everything spiraled for me this week. I hyper-focused on threads and... I'm so good at it now.
Are you winning at the
I'm winning.
Honestly, they're really good.
They're really good.
They're really good.
But at the detriment for my entire social life. Also didn't finish cooking. I had an entire list. I started doing a to-do list yesterday and it became my entire notebook, and it turned into like a morning pages ritual thing where I was just like throwing everything on the page. And I was like, this isn't a to-do list anymore. This is a, the rest of your life list.
Yeah.
And then it was midnight. Decided to fall asleep. Then I had to remind myself in the morning to walk the dogs. That became a whole thing. I was like, I better take my meds now so that I can go to the gym right afterwards. I'm stacking things to fill my day because I was like, now I'm using my meds at the weekend, which I usually don't do.
So at noon, I'm like, oh, we're going to do this thing. Do you want to come? And you're like, no, but I'll be ready by 3. Cool.
today.
That was today.
I would prefer if you use an exact quote if you are going
Okay,
to call
great,
me out.
because I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't say ready by 3. Yeah.
Okay, I know, but okay. Still want to join us. We're going to Stockbridge. Brag. I took my meds too early and now I'm struggling to get my shit together. I'm going to take a rain check on Stockbridge to get through this to-do list and should be a perfect teenage dirtbag by 3 with the emoji that's blushing but the hand on the mouth if we're going to be really specific. And then we had another conversation that I'll leave out of the pod. And then at 3, I said, hey, are you here? And he goes, where is here? I'm finishing laundry.
So that message that you said you would be functioning by 3, did you, when you wrote that, did you think that you were meeting us at 3 in your head?
Yes. Yeah. And then come 3, when that happened, I was like, why would Laura and Dawn want to meet with me?
Like as if nothing that we've been planning ever happened.
As if I were a brand new baby born into the world at 3 p.m. 3 hours.
We don't like babies, so
you
that
would
would make sense.
assume would be enough to get your shit together.
So then he says, where's here? I said, Royal Scots to do the pod. Right. In another world, blanked, can be there in 25 minutes. And to be fair, you were here in like...
You were here very quick. Bless you, he was very sweaty. He ran here in the heat.
In that 25 minutes, I showered.
Oh, I thought you just put shoes on and left.
So
you live a 20-minute walk away.
Because I hadn't showered in 2 days.
Oh,
like that's...
Because you hyper-focused on threads.
I like... Which sounds really, really pathetic.
It doesn't sound pathetic. It sounds like the most ADHD thing, and we love it. Yeah. And we've had such a lovely time talking to you today. I'm really conscious that we need to wrap it up because Dawn has to edit this in a day.
Yeah.
So
super fun.
So yeah, it will be edited and out in, well, by the time you're listening to this. So.
There you go. So we would love to see you here at the Royal Scots Club for the
August
Talkback show,
6th.
which is after Nicole's Why Am I Like This?
Friend show.
So please get tickets for both. And if you would like to come and join us for our Most ADHD Thing Live podcast recording beforehand, you just need to show up and make a donation. And
So basically, what we're saying is you could hang out with us from roughly about 12:30 in the afternoon to about 6-ish at night. Yeah. You get a whole day with the crew,
you'll be
with the squad.
sick of the sight of us.
It'll be too much.
It will be too much. It will be too much.
But it's possible.
If you can't make Edinburgh and you are in Aberdeen on the 3rd of August, come down to Resident X at 8 p.m. for another live podcast recording.
Yep, absolutely. And if you can't make any of those things, but you would like to connect with us, we would love to chat to you in our community. So all the whilst we're doing this recording of season 2, which will be out very soon, we are updating with behind the scenes content. We have our body doubling, we're doing live blethers, we're on the Discord day and night chatting to folks to come and speak to us for peer-to-peer support.
Absolutely.
Via the link in bio. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I need to go and get something to eat.
Please, I'm really hungry. And apparently there is a Chinese restaurant called Karen's Unicorn, which sounds like the best name of a restaurant I've ever heard.
It's known to be one of the best.
It's really
Karen's Unicorn.
I just feel like we need to finish the pod by saying, come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah!
We need to do it in a count of 3 so we're all together.
I thought you guys would know what I was saying. Yeah. I really thought you would just magically know.
And I'm really tired, but come on, Barbie.
Let's go party.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you are finding this podcast helpful and you're in a position to do so, we are asking that you help us by signing up to our Patreon. In pledges starting at just £4 a month, it will give you access to our We Are ADHD AF community forum, in which we are both active members and we all support and learn from each other. You will also get access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusives, offers, blogs, vlogs, the works, everything in the kitchen sink. Your pledge will also mean that we will be able to continue to put out weekly episodes of ADHD as Females, the podcast.
Alternatively, if you would prefer just to make a donation, you can do so by visiting buymeacoffee.com/ADHD as females. We know that our words are helping people in 164 countries and counting.
We really appreciate your support in supporting us to continue supporting the ADHD community.
If you are ADHD AF and you want more ADHD AF, join the We Are ADHD AF community. www.patreon.com/ADHD as females.
ADHD as females. ADHD AF